It's more treading the line of ghost dad than anything. Not really scary. Unless you are inherently scared of Bill Cosby, which who can blame you at this point? Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Two Asian Blokes Podcast, a podcast where we talk about Asian pop culture, films, TV shows, comic books, anime, music, films, anime, music, food, video. Damn it! I'm going to start again.
Start again. People heard it 1,000 times.
Hello, everybody.
100, 300 times.
Welcome to another episode of Two Asian Blokes Podcast, a podcast where we talk about Asian pop culture, films, TV shows, comic books, anime, music, food, video games, whatever we're feeling at the time. My name is Dan with H. With me, as always, is my co-host Thavy. Shut up, Thavy.
Is there like there's this old short, is it a short movie? It's one of those Japanese tales of the haunted where there's the story is, or the segment is, a guy has to look after this apartment and then he has to say a phrase every time he hears the ghost say something, and he just has to do it, and then it becomes like second nature to him, but then one day he forgets, and then there's this horrific tree bitch that comes and haunts him because he forgets to do it. It's
that's pretty much me
in your apartment. If you don't do the podcast intro properly, you're gonna get haunted by some giant tree.
Gonna get treed to death.
Treed to death. Yeah, that's actually quite a good series. I'd like to revisit that someday. It's pretty fun camp stuff.
Sounds like a Junji Ito comic.
Yeah, I think a lot of them are sort of Junji Ito style because they go from the macabre to sort of comical from time to time. But you could also be out of practice because we actually haven't spoken to each other or done a podcast episode.
We haven't spoken to we don't speak to each other unless it's recorded content. We've never spoken in our private lives. It's a business relationship.
It's performative, yeah. I know, right?
Well, I haven't done the intro in a while because, as regular viewers and listeners might know, we just got off the back of John Wulai, which is different to what we do, what we're doing today, what we do usually. And we're taking a little bit of a break as well because you've been working on a film, which we will talk about. But before we get to that, just the bullet points of the episode. Today we're going to be talking about Park Chan-wook news. We're going to be talking about the recent first look at One Piece Season 2. We're also going to do a mini review of the movie Weapons, which came out fairly recently. And then we're going to get to the main topic of today's episode, which is Ghost Killer, Japanese film. But yes, we've got some spruiking to do before that. So you've been busy, Thavy.
I have. I've been. We finally announced it. If you've all seen the trailer, or most of you have seen it, all of you should have seen it by now, as donations are mandatory.
If you haven't seen it, stop listening to this. Click onto our YouTube channel and go watch the teaser.
Yeah, you have no excuse. Even if you're driving and you're on the freeway, you can't pull over. Doesn't matter. You have to bring out your phone. You're going to break the law.
Yep.
By legal reasons, don't do that. But
do it. If you're in the middle of performing heart surgery and you're listening to this, stop what you're doing. Go on your computer and watch this.
Get the anesthetist out the room. Get the patient that you are doing the heart surgery on, and get him to watch. Get him or her or they or them to watch the trailer. I wonder if we did have a legal team and they heard this, would they just have a stroke if we didn't,
Man,
because we don't have a legal team.
If we had a legal team, they'd be very busy, Tommy. Let's just say that.
By a legal team, do we have a legal team and a soft vocal? What's the term I'm looking for? Censorship, Gen Z censorship team. Every time we say, suicide and kill, isn't it unalive or something like that? But we don't, because I don't like butchering the English language more than it already has been butchered. So
all right, Boomer, just settle down.
But anyway,
but that's kind of what your film is about, right? Anti-censorship.
There's a lot of anti-censorship sentiment in my film. But overall, it's supposed to be quite a bit of fun. It was a hectic week, and we're still not even finished because we have a couple more days of shoot, but they'll be at different locations. So, yes, hence why we need the funding, because I think we're going to be going over budget pretty soon. So, we're scrapping, we're doing, Vin Diesel bank robberies, Fast and Furious style. To fund this movie.
I thought you meant how Vin Diesel just blatantly steals money from the Fast and Furious franchise. Because those movies are expensive, but they look like shit. So somebody's pocketing some money, Thavy.
Probably Vin Diesel. Yeah.
Probably Vin Diesel.
But yeah, no, it was definitely, I'd been quite busy, and I heard that, you've been doing other ventures while I've been screwed away with my, blood pressure's probably gone up by however much, It's just like...
Yeah, you're going the way of Kubrick. You're really Kubricking out on this film.
Angel was basically Shelley Duvall, and I was Kubrick. There's I think I sent you a photo of the behind the scenes where we both just looked quite fed up on the last day. But no, it was a good shoot. It was a good main principal photography days. I think we've shot maybe 6 days in total, not including the main 4. And then we still have like a couple more days where we basically have to shoot an ending. So we're not done. And I'm actually still working on the ending. So the script's not even done, Dan. We're not doing it like One Car Y style. Just sort of making shit up on the day. If there's anything I've learned, I guess, especially when it comes to indie sets, I maybe regret not making things a little bit simpler in the script, because there's a lot of shit going on. And we were doing like 36 shots a day in principal photography, but we had to combine a lot of shit and cut out a lot of shots, and just...
It's a pretty ambitious script. I have had the privilege of reading the script, and it is a very Thavy movie for those that know about Tavy's personality.
Yes.
Did you want to give like a little synopsis or anything about Don't Fret Precious?
Yeah, sure.
People can read this and they should read about it, but
Well, I mean, it's just basically about a young woman who's trapped, or being, I guess, maybe held hostage or held captive, or just ensconced in a small space where she studies all day under a sort of a regime that's unseen. But if she gets good grades consistently, top marks, she gets the chance to see her favorite idol group, which is the Milk Boys. And she's on her way to succeeding this, but one day she slips up and a whole mess of things happen from one mistake. So there we go. Just a little peanuts. What's the term? The elevator pitch.
Sizzle for your steak.
Yeah, there we go. So... Yeah, no, it's very fun. Definitely the weirdest set I've been on.
It does look a bit weird. We're going to be talking about Park Chan-wook in a bit, but it does give a little bit of old boy vibes, a little bit of 1984 in there. Looks like a lot of fun.
We shot on anamorphic lenses, so to not get too nerdy, because to be honest, I'm not that well versed in different lenses either, but it honestly looked a lot more Park Chan-wook than I was actually steering towards, because there's a lot of that weird... If you watch any kind of Old Boy or any of his Vengeance trilogy, there's this sort of tint of green that seems to permeate the color grade. And I think... I guess I should get my DOP on this podcast at some point and he can explain it. But these are like old, like vintage Russian lenses that were trying to mimic the anamorphic lenses of I think it was like the 70s, like the Panavision or whatever. So they have some, I guess, I'm not sure if the term is like artifacting, but they do something to the footage and it's quite cool. So when I was color grading it, like the image didn't really behave the way that I have experienced with other footage that I've color corrected. It just didn't behave, which was quite interesting. So yeah, I'm going to need to pay a colorist, which is what the GoFundMe is for. So my movie can look good and not just color graded by me and look shit at the end of it. So, yeah.
Yeah, guys, do you want this movie to look shit? If not, donate now. I mean, obviously donate if you can. You don't have to. I will put the link to the donation page in the description of this episode. And I'll also put a link to the teaser, which is on our YouTube channel up here. But yeah, it's got a lot of people that have been on the show before. Obviously, Risky has done some work on it, right, Thavy?
And Angel as our Shelley Duvall. Yes.
Angel from the Knocked Loose episode, which is pretty popular.
But yeah, I mean, like, be prepared to be hearing a lot about this over the next coming months. I guess we'll talk about it a little less each episode, but I guess we should do that, a proper sponsored segment, so we're not just talking about it. But yeah, I mean, I'm just really thinking about the shoot days, and yeah, I feel sorry for Angel. Sorry, Angel, for really making you do some pretty within reason some deplorable stuff. So I'm like, man, that was quite crazy.
That's filmmaking, there.
That's filmmaking. Yeah, a lot of late hours, but I'm sure you'll hear more of it as the months go along until it's done.
And as you mentioned, while you were off doing that, I've been doing little side projects. I recently joined Bad Movies We Love with our friend Nick for an episode about The Phantom. You know, that film with Billy Zane where he's wearing purple tights.
Yeah.
We had a good old fun time talking about that old superhero movie before superhero movies really took off.
Yeah. The what's the Shaquille O'Neal, the Shaq
Steel era. Yeah. The Shadow era. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the Shadow. That's it. Yeah.
But yeah, me and Nick had a great time talking about that old movie. So if you're a fan of that movie, go check out Bad Movies We Love. You can find it anywhere you can get a podcast, really. All right, shall we move it along, Thavy?
Yeah, let's do it.
Speaking of Park Chan-wook, I've got news about Park Chan-wook, Thavy.
Ooh.
This is via Vulture. Park Chan-wook and Don McKellar, co-creators and writers for the HBO series The Sympathizer, they were kicked out of the Writers Guild of America West for writing the series during the 2023 strikes when pens were supposed to be down. They are not appealing their expulsion. So as somebody that has watched The Sympathizer, not me, but you.
The episode that was supposed to cover it?
Yeah. We'll get to it, Thavy.
I don't think we will.
Can you give us I mean, what is The Sympathizer? I'm sure not many people have watched it, even though I'm led to believe it's a pretty good show.
Yeah, it's a pretty good show. It's just basically about a Viet Cong spy who's in the South Vietnamese army, and he has to go to the States and sort of, do spy work. And it's just basically him sort of questioning and, I guess, falling into the traps of capitalism. It's pretty intricate. It was a while ago since I had seen it, and I've read the novel as well. It's a very weird series. I wonder if it is better as a novel, but I can definitely see like Park Chan-wook all over it for the first. I think he directed the first 4 episodes or first 3 episodes, and it's definitely that very meticulous Park Chan-wook style with some of his depraved humor in there. And then the rest of the series is competently directed, but it's sort of, you can tell he's not there anymore, which is unfortunate. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as it pertains to him getting kicked out of the guild for it, he still maintains that he never violated any rules.
Yeah.
It's kind of like semantics, I think. There's odd definitions of quote unquote writing when it comes to this kind of thing. Like, like is editing considered writing, for example? Some argue no, some argue yes. I mean, I think it was like in post-production and HBO like asked for some things to be changed, but both writers / directors maintain that they were still within the boundaries of what the WGA usually allows. But they're not arguing it, mainly because it doesn't really affect their ability to work, I think.
Look, I think Park Chan-wook...
I mean, Park Chan-wook is busy. He's a busy man. He doesn't have time to be doing frivolous lawsuits.
Park Chan-wook is Park Chan-wook, man. He doesn't need that slap of approval from the WGA.
Yeah.
And he's mostly doing Korean projects now, so it affects him even less, to be honest. So he would lose a lot of the perks from being in the WGA. But, Park Chan-wook's like getting older now. She's fucking Park Chan-wook. Doesn't need to prove anything to anyone. If anything, it's the Writers Guild who are losing like a valuable asset just because of some semantics, as they say. Whether or not he did break the rules.
Yeah, not that we're condoning scab-related activities, but it seems ambiguous this particular case. And he's doing other stuff. He's got a new movie coming out with Lee Byung-hun called No Other Choice.
Looks great.
Where an official teaser got released at time of recording 2 weeks ago. Looks very good. Looks like vintage Park Chan-wook stuff.
Can't wait. No more lovey-dovey stuff. It's all about the pain of being fired. I think the brief synopsis I heard is that it's about a man who loses his job and sort of turns to measures to, I'm not sure if it's a revenge story, but to get his job back, he resorts to extreme methods. So, it's classic Korean storytelling of being laid off by, probably a corrupt CEO, because that's just like a wash in Korea. Debt collectors and corrupt CEOs.
It's got that air of desperation that we love in Korean cinema.
It doesn't reveal that much, but it's got the trademark, Park Chan-wook immaculate framing, a little bit of the humor. I think there's a scene where I guess Lee Byung-hun is trying to shoot someone, and then I think he's hiding the gun in like under mitts or something, and he's trying to take off the mitts, but I think he'd put too many like oven mitts covering the gun, and he's like struggling to take it off to shoot the guy. So it looks kind of funny. Yeah, we all love Lee Byung-hun now. He's starting to get a bit more recognition. I'm starting to get a bit more comments when I wear my I Saw the Devil Lee Byung-hun t-shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Mostly from Korean people. They're like, is that Lee Byung-hun? Yeah. I've got the few, is that Jackie Chan? A couple of times,
Not even Storm Shadow. Is that Jackie Chan? Okay.
Definitely from white people, But I don't blame them because, it's just white people. It's fine.
It's fine. I mean, it's not fine, but it's okay. Fine. We forgive you.
But, I'm looking forward to it. It's been distributed by Neon. So Neon is probably the competitor to A24 when it comes to niche art house films or auteur directors. So
as A24 is becoming more blockbuster, Neon's rising in the realm of indie filmmaking.
Yeah. Well, they've always supported, I guess, Korean auteurs, because Parasite was Neon, wasn't it? That's showing during MIF soon, and with a live orchestra performing at the same time. Like actually, I also saw the. Have I mentioned that I saw Cowboy Bebop live on this podcast?
You mentioned it to me in one of those rare situations where we talk to each other in our private lives.
I know, right? Yeah. I saw Cowboy Bebop live, a few episodes, and that was really cool. It added a lot, especially to, I think they showed like the marquee episodes,
the Vicious saga.
The main saga, and it was really cool. So I'm all for the movie accompanied by a live performance, such as when I saw with Hard Boiled.
It's a bit of fun.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, but I'm not sure if I'm going to go see Parasite because I'm broke after filming, so having
going to spend them on twice tickets.
Fuck. Even that, I'm torn dead. I was watching. We're going off the rails a bit, but fucking anyway. So twice to come into Melbourne. Their tickets aren't selling out as fast as when we went to go see them, but damn, are they expensive? And there's I have to choose between, because there's during that time and during now, there's a lot of bands that I want to go and see, and I bought one because it was my birthday a couple of days ago. I bought tickets to go see Architects, and they got a really cool support show. But I was looking at twice tickets, and oh man, I could buy 2 Architects tickets for one, twice ticket, Or there's another, I think, One OK Rock is coming down.
Oh yeah,
and I could get a ticket to Architects and One OK Rock for one twice ticket,
Yeah, that kind of makes sense.
I was watching the Lollapalooza stream a little bit because they performed there. And oh man, I just want to go see Twice, man. Whether or not it's about them I've been following them for ages, and they're just good performers. You know, it's just a fun show. But you're not going to be in town when they're
No, I'm going to be
Sydney or
in
Melbourne.
Singapore. Do you think their appearance on K-pop Demon Hunters bumped up the ticket price?
No, I don't think so, because
I think they were always going to
aren't-
be that expensive.
Yeah. No, it's to get like the seats that are kind of far back, it's like $280. But if you want like the sniff zone, has been risky of called it, you gotta get you're forking out $500.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, I do, but I also have reservations about going alone as well, because I'm not the biggest fan of K-pop fans.
Yeah.
So I don't want to be that guy. It's just like, oh man, it's just it's a bit much. I just want to see Twice. So I don't know. I'm conflicted, because like I love Twice. I think they're great performers. I like a lot of their songs, but it's just so expensive, and I have to be smart with purchases now, especially after making a film and then having to. I think I have to upgrade my computer, because I'm doing a lot of visual effects stuff recently, and I think my 6-year-old CPU is not cutting it anymore. It's struggling, Dan. Even doing simple stuff, it's struggling. So I'm just like, but I really want to see Twice, man. Twice is the best. They have a new song as well. Yeah, that happened. They had a new song come out. We haven't done a reaction to, because I've been too busy. IU's got a new album out. Yeah, fuck, man. It's a lot has happened, you know?
Yeah, things have been happening. We've been away for like a month. Things have happened.
We're talking about news last night. What should we talk about? And like, I'm sure there's a lot that has come out. And you're like, should we talk about the Brendan Fraser trailer? It's so fucking random. Just like a Brendan Fraser trailer.
I thought you'd be into it.
I haven't seen the trailer, so I don't know.
Seen the trailer.
Like,
okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, really? It just seemed quite random. But I think now that the juices are going, it's like, Twice have new.
I mean, the problem is we've been away for so long that it's no longer news. So
yeah, I guess so. Well, Chaeyoung, I think, just released a hint that she's releasing her solo song as well. So
maybe we'll do a reaction to that.
Night. Yeah, we'll just cram it all in one video. Because like those videos, you know, you and I, and the way we feel about K-pop these days, or the way I feel about K-pop these days, is a bit, you know, it's not as fun anymore.
We like K-pop.
I like K-pop,
just not so much the fans.
I don't like the state of K-pop.
Yeah.
And it's probably because it's fan induced, really.
Yeah. Speaking of fans we don't like, Thavy, shall we move it along to the next topic?
No, that's not true.
Nah, you're all right. We just didn't like this show very much. One Piece Season 2. So this got a teaser. Set to come out to 2026, so it's still early days. But the teaser just came out recently at time of recording. It shows the continued adventures of Luffy and the Straw Hat crew as they head towards the Grand Line.
Yeah.
So, I mean, regular listeners of this show probably know that we're not huge fans of live action adaptations to anime.
Yeah.
Finding them a bit redundant, especially if they come from the West, which is not us being snobs. It's just not. It just doesn't mesh well with us. It doesn't vibe with us. And we didn't really like the first season of One Piece, which, you know, you're allowed to like that show, but we think it sucks.
Well, one of our most disliked videos.
Yeah. What do you think about this teaser?
My opinion hasn't changed.
Yeah? It hasn't changed?
No. It's fine. It looks like more of the same.
I think it looks better.
Does it?
Yeah, I think the effects look a bit better. There's some big swings here. We've got first look at a giant, which looks pretty good.
And Gomu Gomu.
We got the Gomu Gomu Gatling, which I think looks pretty good. Like even to like I recently watched Fantastic Four, which had minimal stretching effects, but like, you know, it's hard to do. Stretching is hard to do in live action, which is always our point of like, don't do live action if you can't do it. But I actually think the Gomu Gomu Gatling looks pretty good in this teaser. It looks like they're going to Alabasta, so we get first looks at Nico Robin and Vivi, as well as Smoker, and all of them look pretty good. I think. I mean, it still looks very glossy. It still looks like a Netflix thing.
I don't know. I'm probably not going to watch it, to be honest. I mean, we'll have to if we're going to cover it and get more. If you want to do that rage click episode, but
I don't really. Maybe we'll love it though, Thavy. Maybe it'll be good. Who knows?
I
think it will probably be better than the first season. I think like the cast has had time to bond, so I think we'll get more chemistry from their performances.
Yeah,
like the story gets more interesting as well. I really like the Alabaster arc in general.
Yeah, that's the last arc I watched when I was a kid when I was on TV. Yeah, and then I stopped watching after the Alabaster arc because it just wasn't on anymore. And then now they're like 3,000 episodes in, and it's just like, probably not gonna watch it anymore.
They also gave a sneak peek of Chopper, but I'm pretty sure they only meet Chopper once they hit the Grand Line. So I'm not even sure if he's going to be in this season.
No, I've ever seen Chopper quite a bit in the Alabaster arc because he was pretty prominent.
No, he's not. He's a fucking reindeer, Thavy. He's got no place in the desert. No. I'm pretty sure they meet Chopper after Alabaster.
Really? Maybe I can't, because I've never seen Chopper all the time. So maybe
It all kind of melds together at a point. There's fucking a million episodes of One Piece.
Like, I don't fault, like, I think the casts are good. And I do like the genuine camaraderie between the actors. And I do like the enthusiasm that they're showing for the show. And I know that it's showbiz, and you can't really be like, oh, I think the show's just going to be okay because you're an actor in it, you want to sell it, and you're sort of contractually obligated to, But I think for the most part, everyone who's involved in the project is really excited by it and is doing a lot of good work. But ultimately, I just don't really like the vision of it. I just think the animation, it's just better, and I still think it's just that idea that live action means it's more legitimate than an animation, and I think I just don't like that sentiment, and I don't like how How to Train Your Dragon got the live action and it's been like critically acclaimed, but it's just the same, but it's live action and it takes a lot away from what the animation is, and I just don't like anything that sort of adds to that sentiment. I think the reason I would prefer a live action is that it adds something or updates something that the original didn't have. And again, I'll go back to the Kenshin live action where they had very fluid, highly stylized choreography and big, epic battle action sequences. So that's what they added to that show.
And they had One OK
Rock. So that is when it's good. So it can be good, but I feel One Piece live action doesn't add anything except that it's live action. And I don't think a lot of the costuming looks any better on a live action person. Because at the end of the day, it still looks like cosplay to me.
And that's the thing. Like, there's a bit that's lost in translation when you're adapting something from animated to live action. And then I think there's another layer of stuff that gets lost in translation when you're adapting a Japanese work to a Western production. So it's like, it's kind of twice removed from the original thing.
Even though like the One Piece universe is not set in Japan, I mean, there's been a lot of race changes in the show.
It's not really race changes because the races of these characters can be anything, really. It's a fantasy world.
So I don't really mind that, but like, it's just very Japanese in its execution from the animation. And I feel like you're losing a little bit of that cultural sensitivity to open it up to a wider audience that, it's kind of like, I guess it's the evolution of sushi, right? In a sense that, here's this very simple dish of rice and, raw fish on it.
Yeah, Thavy. I mean, you don't like westernized sushi? You don't like a roll with fried chicken in it slathered in mayonnaise?
And the thing is, I'll eat that sometimes, but I'll always like...
I know you will eat that, Thavy.
But it's more, this is like, then you'll get a group of people who are like, I don't like the original. Like, I need to have something tailored towards me and just negate.
You get a bunch of people going to Japan and expecting mayonnaise fried chicken sushi. And then when it's not there, they get upset.
So this is the sad truth that a lot of the times people aren't watching animes or even foreign films in their own language. And it's just, I don't know.
Some people are on their phone, Thavy. Nah. But I mean, a lot of people are anticipating this show. A lot of people like it. Most people like it, actually. So we're kind of the outliers in this. So maybe we're wrong.
So we get a lot of dislike clicks on this episode too, which is fine.
Yeah, it is what it is.
What
you
it
know?
is.
Like I don't know. I think live action things in the style of anime can be done. And even the movie that we're talking about today really feels like an anime.
Yeah.
So it definitely can be done. It's just hard.
It's hard.
And
I
don't think One Piece Netflix nails it, really. But I feel like it, fine. I'm not going to take that away from anyone.
Yeah.
Shall we move along to something that everybody likes, Thavy?
Yes.
Weapons, directed by Zach Cregger.
Yes.
So I will say before jumping into this, if you haven't seen this movie and you're planning to, you should stop listening to this or skip ahead and watch it, because we'll do non-spoilers and give you a warning if we do drop any spoilers. But it's really one of those movies
you
that you need to jump into.
I would say that this is just a spoiler. All of our shit is... We always say we give warnings, but we don't have a structure.
Yeah, we hate dancing around spoilers. We're not good at it, all right? It's hard.
we just do it because it's just like,
just watch it. Just go watch the movie.
Everyone's watch it.
Don't listen
and
to
just
us talk about it.
Maybe watch it, but shut the fuck up as well when you're watching a movie.
I haven't actually seen many people dropping spoilers for this movie, which I like.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a general consensus that we're not going to spoil this movie, which is probably my favorite thing about this movie is the marketing behind it, because it's one of those rare films these days where they didn't give away anything in the trailer, and there seems to have been a communal agreement that we're not going to spoil this film for people.
This movie,
which is the opposite of modern day film marketing.
Well, I think this movie has been successful enough that it's definitely it's made its money back, because it's not an expensive film, but it's not big enough that there's enough normies that just want to spoil everything to just flood Facebook or whatever social network.
Maybe, yeah.
So
I feel like Zach Cregger has also developed this persona where his movies are those that shouldn't be spoiled. Because Barbarian was similar. It had a similar marketing strategy in that it didn't really give away much, and the movie kind of hinges on not knowing that much going into it. And Weapons is very similar in its execution.
Yeah.
I would say.
Do you want to give a little quick sit rep about the...
Yeah, I mean, this is all said in the trailer, but a bunch of kids go missing from one class in particular. All the kids go missing except for one kid. So the town is in outcry. They're all trying to blame the teacher of the class, but nobody really knows what's going on. So it's a mysterious setup, and the movie just goes from there. This is where the spoilers come in. The story plays out from different perspectives.
It's very pulpy.
I forget how many.
It's like Pulp Fiction style.
Yeah, I forget how many there are specifically, but you get the perspective of the teacher first, then you get the perspective of a parent played by Josh Brolin, then you get the perspective of, I think it's the cop. Oh, is it Benedict Wong first?
I don't know the order, but it's you get multiple perspectives just to see.
And then finally you get the kid.
Yeah.
That is left over.
Yeah.
And each perspective kind of builds on the story.
Yeah.
So you're right. Pretty similar to Pulp Fiction, but it's a horror.
Yeah.
Did you like the film?
Yeah, I liked it. I enjoyed it a lot. I find these scripts, they're very hard to write, and they're very hard to balance, because you have so little time to make your audience care for the character or that point of view. But they are all interconnected enough that you are catching snippets of it. And I think there's enough of a character quirk or motivation from each character that it's relatable enough. Because not all these characters are likable. Some of them are a little bit morally dubious. And I wasn't expecting as much of these.
We get the perspective of a junkie character as well. That's fun.
Yeah. And I didn't expect as much... I didn't expect this that much in this kind of storytelling. And there's definitely some spooky moments within the first half of the film. Unfortunately, they're mostly dream sequence moments, but it's still quite spooky. I think the performances are fun. And I think the gore aspects of it is quite fun as well.
Especially at the end.
Yeah. I think my only concern or my only criticism really, and this is more of a taste thing, is that it probably loses its spookiness maybe halfway through. And I think there is a little bit too much humor in this movie. So it really like lost that tense fear aspect of it, like on the edge of my seat kind of fear. Because I watched Together as well. I think Weapons is a better movie, but Together managed to hold for most of the film that odd, like surprisingly scary aspects of that film as well, more than I expected, like a spooky atmosphere. Where this one, it sort of became more of a mystery film, and then I found myself like laughing a lot more than maybe fearing for my life, I guess.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Most of the spooks are up top.
And as I was saying before, there was a group near us that just want to shut the fuck up for the film. Like I'm all for like if you're watching like a schlocky horror film, I'm kind of there for like people during like the scary moments to be like, oh my God, or get freaked out and stuff. But like, it's just these people who are like having like a casual conversation. Some chick was on her phone and I was so tempted. Like I should have said something. Can you like put that shit away and shut the fuck up? You know, like, yeah, I mean, these tickets aren't cheap, but yeah, I'm a pussy. So I didn't say anything. So I don't know. They got away with it.
But you're saying it online now, Thavy, and I think that's very big of you.
Yeah. Yep.
No, I think I had a really good cinema experience with this film. Smallish crowd. Everybody was reacting the way they were supposed to be reacting in all the right places. Yeah, people jumping at the jump scares. I think the ending is really, really good.
Yeah.
And it makes you leave the cinema feeling really good.
Yeah.
Because it's such a good ending. I've got criticism of the film as well. They're a little bit nitpicky, but I feel like going into the film, there's like a question posited, like how and why did these kids get abducted, or how and why like have they disappeared? Because they seem to have been leaving of their own volition, right?
Yeah.
So the central mystery is like what's happened.
Yeah.
Right. And I feel like the answer to that mystery is a little bit unsatisfying.
Yeah, no, I felt that as well. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the how they disappeared is pretty interesting, but the why they disappeared is like it's kind of waved away. They don't really address it.
I think there's too many answers were solved, or there was too many answers given, and maybe too many rules, and then I've lost that mysterious factor to the film.
Sure.
And then, as you said, like once you find out why and how they've left the house, it's like, okay, well, that's fine. and then it's just sort of like, yeah.
Yeah, if you compare it to Barbarian, like there's a reveal in Barbarian as well, but the movie still kind of continues on the same steam. Like it's still very, spooky and eerie and jump scary. Like it doesn't really change in tone, but I think in this film, it does kind of change in tone after the reveal. Like I didn't mind that it wasn't that scary. I just found it a little bit unsatisfying.
Yeah,
but I mean, it's really good.
Yeah, I think
very enjoyable
it's a great film.
though.
It's a good cinema experience, except for that one one group, I guess, who were in our seats originally.
Yeah.
But we kicked them out.
That's always fun.
No, they left on their own volition at least. They didn't even try to argue because we just stood in front of them and they just got up because they knew they were in the wrong seats. Anyway, but I think there were definitely reactions to a lot of the jump scares in my cinema experience as well. I think it's good, but I think the movie is probably a little bit overrated. I wouldn't say this is my favorite horror film of the year.
What is?
I'll probably bring her back at this moment. Still, yeah.
Oh yeah.
That one's not as
It's a good
scary
film.
either, but it's just got a really good story. And
it's very consistent in tone, isn't it?
yeah.
Sad.
Yeah,
Dreary.
but like I like the derangedness of it, and there is a sort of deranged character in this film, but it's I don't know, somehow dialed back. I do like Benedict Wong face. There's a lot that's been kind of
it's good stuff.
maybe a little. Is it really? It's not really been memeified on the internet.
I
but
don't think so.
I've seen it a few times, and it's just bug-eyed, and the running posture. I do enjoy seeing that. I remember I was looking at one of my mates Instagram, and he had posted like an image of his kid running up a mountain, and they were doing that pose like unintentionally. And I was like, "Ooh, your kid's gone. He's possessed by a witch."
Yeah.
But like, it's quite haunting, that imagery, and I think the marketing campaign for this film was excellent, because as soon as I saw the teaser, I was like, I want to see this movie now, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it's good. It's definitely worth a watch for sure.
100%. He's also in line to direct a Resident Evil something, maybe a movie. Yeah. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, Resident Evil movie. Yeah, apparently it's been sort of positively received. I think Zach said that he hasn't seen any of the other Resident Evil movies, and is trying to pay more homage to the games and their atmosphere, which I don't know, because of the movies, the games atmosphere changed to accommodate the movies. Yeah. So whether or not he goes that big bombastic route or more spooky, it'll be up to him. And I think because as we're older now, the fact that the Resident Evil series has always been a little bit camp was lost on us as kids. So I'm not sure how 100% spooky you can be, especially with zombie stuff, because I'm not scared of zombies anymore. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. But I'm excited to see his vision. I think he did a good job. I think he can make something pretty fun. Yeah, judging from his previous two escapades of films. Yes.
Yeah, I think it's a good choice. I think he could tread that line between spooky and action, fun, pretty well. Yeah. All right, shall we move it along?
Yeah, let's do it.
Speaking of action fun, we're going to be talking about Ghost Killer. So this is a Japanese film directed by Kensuke Sonomura, written by Yugo Sakamoto, and starring Takaishi Akari, or Akari Takaishi, however you want to say it.
From Baby Assassins fame. Yes.
Yeah, so it's pretty much a Baby Assassins team. So we've got Yugo is the writer and director of Baby Assassins. Kensuke Sonomura is the fight director, stuntman, choreographer guy from Baby Assassins. And Akari is one of the leads in Baby Assassins. So you can almost think of this as like a Baby Assassin spin-off, because it's about hitmen as well. This guy loves writing about hitmen, Thavy.
Yeah. It's a fun topic to write about. I'd love to write that story someday. It's just fun. Yeah.
So you want to give a synopsis for this film? We'll do full spoilers, by the way.
Yeah, there's not too much to spoil in this movie, really. Yeah. But
straightforward action film.
The movie's about a professional hitman who finds himself killed on one of his jobs, but his soul is encased in a bullet cartridge. Akari Takaishi, a college student, just happens to come across, and then she suddenly gains the ability to see him as a ghost, which also gives her the power to utilize his skills whenever he possesses her. And she uses those skills to go on a bit of a vigilante spree, but then ends up having to fight an entire organization of killers. Yeah. That's pretty much the entire movie's plot, really. Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah, so pretty straightforward action film with a twist of the supernatural. The supernatural stuff isn't, it's not really like played up though.
It's not scary. Like I saw Google classify this as an action horror. Like, really? Like horror? Like there's only maybe one spooky aspect of the film, but I think they've shot it in a way and revealed it in a way where they're trying not to make it spooky. They're trying to make it more like it's just there. Yeah.
It's more treading the line of Ghost Dad than anything. Not really scary. Unless you are inherently scared of Bill Cosby, which who can blame you at this point? But yeah, so Kudo is the hitman's name, played by Masanori Mimoto. He is betrayed by his organization, which ends up getting him killed. So he kind of tasks Fumika, played by Akari Takaishi, to kind of like get revenge for him, which he thinks will lead to him being able to pass into the afterlife. So, I mean, like the standout for this film is definitely the action. Yeah. You've got the fight choreographer of Baby Assassins acting as director in this film.
It's got the same style of action, like very fluttery and a lot of like big motions.
If you enjoy people having fist fights in big coats fluttering about, then this movie is for you.
Yeah. Are you familiar with Tak Sakaguchi?
Yes, the guy from Versus.
Yeah. So I think he is basically like the pioneer of this style of fighting.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I think it was introduced when he was like in a lot of these action films, just very like stylized, very overly cool visuals.
Yeah, he's worked before with
sort of bled into
Kensuke Sonomura in a previous movie, Bad City, I think it's called, which Masanori Mimoto was also in.
Okay, yeah. We should watch a bunch of his films because like he's a pretty interesting actor. I think a lot of his films are also hit and miss as well.
He's been in some schlock.
He's definitely sort of, I guess, the Jason Statham of Japanese action cinema. Been around for a long time, and he has his brand. I think he was in another film where he is an actor, and then when he's filming an action film, like actual terrorists come onto the set. And then he has to fight them or something. And it sounds like a little bit silly, a little bit camp, but...
that's fun. That sounds like the premise of a movie that Channing Tatum would be in or something.
Yeah, probably.
Wait, no, wasn't there a movie? What's that movie with Brad Pitt and Sandra Bullock? Lost City?
Lost... Yeah, I think it is Lost City. Daniel Radcliffe is the bad guy.
Yeah.
That movie was very mid, but very mid. Movie.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty fun. But yes, this movie has that same kind of fighting. So it's similar to what you would find in a Baby Assassins movie. There's a good mix of gun fu as well as hand-to-hand fighting and a lot of knife fights, which I always enjoy. You've got the two leads doing their own action. So Masanori Mimoto and Akari Takaishi doing their own stunts for the most part, it seems. Akari's gotten a lot better, I reckon, since the Baby Assassins days.
She does really well in this movie. She's coming from Baby Assassins 1. She didn't really do anything in Baby Assassins 1. Did a little bit more in Assassins 2. Did a lot more in Nice Days, the third one. And she's the star in this one, so she's had to do a lot more, and I think she really enjoys it. And I'm a big fan of hers. Like I really enjoy watching her in these action films. Like I guess it's maybe not really heard of that. I guess an actress as young as her is considered, an action star. But there she is. She's like, she's in a lot of action.
I feel like more common in Japan than
probably more common in Japan,
other
not
places.
in the West. Yeah. I'm not going to comment about action stars in the West because I might get cancelled. But it's fun to see her, and I think she does well. She's still sort of treading the line of some of the Baby Assassins humor, but she's a different character because she's obviously a college school girl who has no inkling or wanting to do any killing. So a lot of the banter between Kudo and Fumika is, just like I don't want to kill this guy. A bit more like Jackie Chan. Like I don't want to cause any trouble, but like you kind of want to get some revenge or want to.
She wants to get some revenge. She's got a bit of. She's got a bit of pent up. I wouldn't say it's pent up rage, although there is a little bit of rage in her performance, but it's more like a sense of justice that at the start of the film she doesn't really have the ability to enact. Like she's introduced as this character that is kind of like meek, I guess. She's trying to get in with this crowd of influencer types who are like the worst people. I mean, they're influencer types. So I think that's a redundant sentence.
But they're not. They're more like they're not influencer in the sense of like wanting brand deals. They're more like, I guess, Burning Sun style. If people know that.
Yeah. They're a bit of Burning Sun types.
Bit of a sungri type,
But she kind of has to go along with it because like there are as many options for her.
Yeah.
She finds out that her friend is being abused by her boyfriend, but again, she's kind of powerless to do anything about it. But that's where Kudo comes in. So Kudo is the ghost hitman. So he kind of sees all this playing out and is like, you want to get some revenge? You want to protect your friend?
Yeah.
Let me possess you for a bit.
You want to be in a bit of a power fantasy? Yeah.
When Kudo possesses Fumika, she does gain the ability to fight. From a performance point of view, I feel like Akari is doing a lot more than
Kudo,
Mimoto.
Yeah.
Because like she essentially has to play dual roles.
Yeah,
So like
yeah.
Kudo is like a ghost, yeah. So he's just playing himself. But when Akari is possessed by Kudo, she speaks with the cadence of Kudo at times, but also with the cadence of Fumika.
Yeah.
So, and they're almost like arguing against each other, like in the middle of a fight scene.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I think that aspect of her performance as well is really good. She's got the acting chops to kind of switch really like quickly and snappily,
it's hard
which
to
I
do.
think is
it's definitely
probably hard to do.
I mean,
it's not always consistent in this film, but I feel like, it's hard to do. So I kind of give her a pass for it.
Yeah. I think especially just, coming off my own set, when you're scheduling scenes and shooting things out of order, and then you're having to shoot, okay, this is, say, you're shooting something that is chronologically way earlier in the film, and then it's like the next scene is, the setup is the same for something that happens a lot later in the film, and then as an actor, you just have to switch like really quickly, and that's just really hard to do, because then you're just in different emotions and you're different mindsets. So it's to sort of be two characters, and I think, like you said, it's not as consistent, but I think for the most part, it's believable. I think one of my criticisms, or maybe something that I might have been missing, is I'm not sure if the relationship between Fumika or Kudo is strong or interesting enough. It seems like they're going to explore certain themes. We talked about, I guess it's the men and the abuse of power, domestic violence, and that kind of burning sun stuff, and whether or not now, Fumika has the ability to utilize this hitman, and it's her body performing the actions, but it is not her in control, but she has made the choice, right? So in a sense, like, is she responsible for essentially killing some of these men? But that's sort of like, once those main two plot points happen and all the other assassins come in, then that's just basically dropped. So I would have liked to have seen a lot more thematic exploration. And I just miss, like, it's really, I try not to compare Baby Assassins to this film, but I just miss the banter between, Akari and Mahiro. That's what carries the film when there is no action. It is just hanging out with the characters is just as fun as watching the action film. Whereas in this one, it sort of drags a little bit, because the bond is not strong enough, because the period of the film is not set over a long period of time. It's like a day or 2 days, right?
Yeah, I think it's like a day. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's like a point where like he eventually disappears because his grudge is solved, and it's just like, yeah, cool. And that's it.
Yeah, pretty much.
But
there's not much of a reaction.
Like, she's basically killed, an entire organization, and now he's just gone. There's always, especially in these universes, there's always someone who's going to be like, well, I need to find out such and such. Like, who's this college girl that's just killed everyone?
Well, they kind of say that, like, because she's got a hitman friend now, so he's kind of got her back. But yeah, it is like a little bit hand waved away.
Yeah. And also, I think the power level explanation as well, because he's using her body, but her body has limitations of someone who is not used to fighting. So there's some comments like, my fist is going to get broken and stuff. But then there's points where, like, they switch the perspective, especially in the final fight of the, I guess it's the man from nowhere looking guy. It's like, there's a final boss henchman and she's fighting him, but then it switches back to the perspective of like Kudo. And then I'm watching it, I'm like, Akari would just snap in half from some of the stuff that guy has done to her.
Yeah, that's
and you're just
kind
not
of
going to
like,
recover. Yeah,
yeah,
I know
that's kind of
got
you
to
got
hand
to
wave it a bit.
Yeah, because it wouldn't work otherwise.
But the fact that they had to explain it, and then it's just like, oh, if they didn't say anything about that, if they had just let her be like, you have this guy's full ability now, you might need to rest a little bit, but you have the strength. But they
could have said you got Ghost Aura or something, you know, like it protects you, it strengthens you. I don't know. Like they do it in because this is a pretty anime concept, and I've been watching Dun the Dun as well, like recently, and that's kind of got a similar thing going on in where like you've got this weakling, but then sometimes he gets possessed and is able to fight. And so like, you can just say it's magic. It's fucking ghost magic or whatever.
It's ghost magic,
But you're right. They do say that, you know, her body has limitations because she's a young girl. Like, so even though Kudo can give her the skills, you know, he can't give her like the physicality that he had when he was alive. But those rules, you know, they just drop away at a point.
They do.
So it's definitely a flawed concept. But, you know, like the movie wouldn't work, I guess, if she just snapped in half after the first
she's just dead. That's the end of the movie. I think this concept would work better as an anime, but I think the fact that is the marketing behind the film is for people that like watching Yugo Sakamoto films and Akari Takaishi. So you wouldn't have as much eyes on the film if it was an anime. But I think there's definitely something very interesting that can be explored if it was a longer story. But for a simple hour, 40-minute romp, I think it's quite fun. I think the action scenes might be a little bit too far and few between because, again, a lot of the chemistry between Fumika and Kudo it's just not that strong. You do enjoy watching very despicable people get what they deserve, especially the influencers, because they drug her, and then it's like, well, fuck you, and it's just like, like you want to see that, you want to see her beat the shit out of those guys, and then like the stuff.
I really like the bartenders that jump in. They're just like really good at fighting for some reason.
Oh shit, they're not amateurs at all. It's just like, it's just. It is just kind of fun just to see that because they're not even involved in the criminal underworld aspect.
They might be. I don't know. Like, it's like one of those universes where everything kind of seems connected.
Because Kudo gives her the hint when she goes to meet up with him that he's seen them before, so they must know. I think they know. So, but then
I think maybe
they get tortured.
Because there's a scene where like these older gangsters bust in on the new crime boss or whatever, and he's like, how dare you kill our guys? I think maybe it's them. You know.
That's right. But then, like, I mean, that's just
those
guys are dispatched very easily as well.
Like you said, it's kind of a smaller scale Baby Assassins film. I think you're right. Like a lot is missing in terms of the chemistry between the two leads. I do kind of get where they were going for, like pairing the young Akari with like an older dude. They're kind of going for like, you know, two opposite ends of the spectrum. Maybe there's just not enough time given to just them being together.
In Baby Assassins 1, which is actually my favorite out of the trilogy, the chemistry is immediately there.
That's true.
It's just there. It is just so much fun watching those characters form together. And a lot of the themes that are in Baby Assassins are quite prominent and a little bit more nuanced. And I think in this film they're trying to address it a little bit, but it sort of falls by the wayside. I think the script needed just a little bit more time baking just to sort of add something to it.
I feel like they needed scenes where where Akari was trying to do mundane things and Kudo is just there being a ghost and like interrupting her. Like, I don't know, she tries to go to the shops or something and he's like being annoying.
And it seems like Kudo has the choice to possess her body whenever he wants to, because there's a bit where she's about to get killed by Kagehara, like his subordinate, when he's like, oh shit, he's gonna fucking stab you and like say the wrong, and then he just grabs her hand. But then there's another point where
she's getting choked out by that guy.
She's getting choked out. He's like, just grab my hand. It's like, just moving closer, man. Just moving closer, bro. Yeah. Like, there's no limitation to that. Like, quick, just grab my hand.
He needs consent, Thavy. This is 2025. You can't just go around touching girls. What are you, a Burning Suns guy?
He's a gentleman. He's a gentleman assassin, I guess. Yeah.
That's funny. It's inconsistent.
Yeah, he's just out of reach. Just grab my hand. Just step in and just move closer.
Just do it, man. She's gonna die.
Just move closer. She's gonna die, and you're gonna die if you don't do that. But yeah, no, he's very polite. So fair enough. I respect him being a very respectful man.
Yeah.
A very respectful.
He's willing to allow the girl to get choked out before he's willing to touch her.
Yeah, that's progressive,
that's
man.
admirable.
This is progressive filmmaking. Yeah. 10 out of 10, man. This is the best movie of the year. Yeah.
I think in terms of the movie overall, it's a fun, cartoony time. I like the villains of the piece. They're, unlikable enough. I like the side character of Kagehara, even though his character kind of does change like halfway through the movie.
Yeah, again, it's not enough time. I agree, because he's sort of like a lot more morally dubious, but then he's like, I like you now, I guess.
Yeah, he goes from being like an aloof professional to just being a simp for Kudo in like the span of one scene.
Yeah.
So yeah, there are some inconsistencies, but the thing that is consistent, I feel, is the action. If you're a big fan of action, like you can't really fault the action in this film. I think it's all really well shot. There's a really cool scene where they're storming the place and they've got guns blazing, and it's kind of switching between Kudo and Fumika, and that's like, I would have hoped that there'd be more of that in the film, but I think as like a standout piece, that works really well.
Yeah, it's quite strong.
Because both actors can do action, so it's really cool to see them like playing the same character doing an action scene in tandem almost.
Shooting this style of action is like a lot more difficult than most, because there's a lot of choreography going on here because of how showy it looks.
Yeah.
And of course, it's not actually how people fight, but get the fuck out of here. You're watching a movie, But it's more in the sense that the shots are not as stitched together through edits, and there's a lot of wide shots.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of the Western style, especially when it comes to indie film and shooting action, you're kind of shooting it tight, so you can edit a lot more. But that is because the person fighting is just not as good an actor, or not just an actor. They can't fight.
I think it's also something to do with selling the impact of the blows a bit, which is harder to do in wider shots, I think. But I feel like this style of fight choreography is not so much about that impact as it is the dance. Like it is.
Yeah,
I mean, they're pretty much doing a dance, right? They're scurrying around. And doing all this elaborate choreography,
slipping through legs and shit. It looks cool.
It's more flappy than bone crunching. But when it needs to be impactful, it is. Like the last fight scene where he faces off against the final henchman. There's enough sound design for you to know that Kudo is getting really hurt in this fight. So I mean, it's very unique and very cool to watch. So I think if you haven't watched any Baby Assassins films or any Yugo films, but you are in general a fan of martial arts cinema, it's just a really good watch.
Because this is not a Baby Assassins film, I really would have hoped that with the concept of this film and to set itself apart, maybe the action in parts has a little bit more impact, maybe a little bit more bloody. That would have been cool. Just a little bit more Timo. It's maybe not too far into Timo, giblets flying around. But because the Baby Assassins movie, I think in that sense, the violence is pretty well done, because it's not a super dark film. It is quite lighthearted. Whereas this one, it feels like Ghost Killer is going for a slightly heavier atmosphere. And I think to add to Fumika's, mentality of her body causing, these extreme acts of violence when, she kills. I mean, she doesn't kill the guys, but she's basically,
she's leading to their death. Like her actions are getting them killed, basically.
Yeah, because she smashing this guy in the face, right? And then you can hear the bone crunch. But it's usually, I think that's probably the highest impact. But I think if she had broken a guy's bone or something, it pops out and stuff. It really shows the viciousness of what she is actually doing. She's harming these guys in an extreme manner. And then it would sort of add that little bit of questioning whether or not she should let this guy possess her body to, enact. It's kind of like if you played Persona 5 with that storyline, they have the ability to change these evil people and, erase and get them to confess their crimes. But there's that aspect of whether or not you are impeding on people's free will. But it's never really given an answer. It's just, this is what's happening. So there doesn't need to be an answer, but I think it should just bring up the question of whether or not what she's doing is actually, should be glorified or not glorified. Because at the end of the day, it's she's beat these, fuck these guys. And they're getting killed by the Kagehara. Fuck these guys, Yeah, but at the end of the day, violence isn't the answer. Unless it's a film, because it's fun to watch. But,
I don't think they wanted to necessarily go in that kind of darker territory. It seems like they wanted to keep it very light. Because you're right, even though she doesn't directly kill these guys, she's getting them killed. Kagehara is killing them because of what she's done. And again, Kudo is very respectful of her choice not to actually do any killing, where maybe it would have worked better if he was just a straight up killer and didn't really care. And then they could have bickered a bit more about that. But no, I think they're keeping it light. They're keeping it breezy.
I think it's too light, which is maybe my issue. Yeah,
that's fair, I think. I don't know. As a standalone film, I think it's fun enough, but maybe you're right. Maybe if it went a bit more serious, it could have been more. I don't know if people watching Baby Assassins necessarily want something overly dark.
To see that kind of. But I think you'd want something a little bit different. It doesn't have to be overly dark, but this is not Baby Assassins. This is Ghost Killer, right?
Yeah.
And the way that the movie was told to me through the trailers was that this is a film that is going to be a little bit heavier. It's not even because I think the beauty about Baby Assassins is the world is very dark because they are killers. And even when you watch some of the TV series episodes, there are points where it's wow, I've just gotten to know this person and then I have to kill them. And then they sort of do question that a little bit. And it's quite confronting because it's you love these characters so much. But there's that element where it's but they're killers. They're not necessarily good people. But I think Baby Assassins is so light and it's so fun that it hides all of that quite well. Where the Ghost Killer, you are exploring the world of professional hitmen in that sense that people are aware of what they're doing a lot more. It's not just a world of where hitmen are it's just a regular job like it is with Baby Assassins, which is kind of the point of those movies. This is something where it is about the nature of killing, and whether or not the question is, with the influencer guys, it's a question of not where it's is just hurting these guys to the point where they will just never do it again good enough? Or, and you never know because leaving them, if you don't let them learn that lesson or punish them enough, they're just going to keep doing the same shit.
It's that old Batman adage, maybe if you just killed the Joker, Gotham would be a better place,
Yeah, but there's what's that part of yourself where you lose, and I think that would have been cool in this movie because she's not directly involved in killing these people, but it's just the same as if any president of a country signs a waiver to declare war on a country, I didn't blow up that kid's family, but I mean, you gave the order to, so is this your responsibility or can you wave your hands away from it? I guess it's like when we eat meat all the time. Did we kill that cow? No, but because, I fucking love meat, I'm still going to do it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
it's just addressing that sort of underlying, maybe dark side that people are very uncomfortable with that I like to explore in films. So, yeah. I think it's a missed opportunity, and you might be right. I think the audience is probably not looking for that because Japanese life is hard as it is. So, just have the power fantasy of like beating up the people you don't like.
Yeah.
But I think for this movie to be something that I would rewatch, because I don't think I'd need to watch this movie again anytime
Probably
soon.
not. Yeah.
But yeah, it's just missing that element where it'd be like, wow, this could have been like a contender for one of my favorite films of the year, or one of the best. Like Baby Assassins is one of my favorite franchises currently because I just love everything about it.
Yeah.
But this film, it's like, it's fine for what it is. A little bit forgettable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does lack a bit of depth and a bit of nuance that kind of elevates Baby Assassins above its contemporaries. But if you're looking for a fun action film to fill an hour and a half, you can do worse than this, I'd say.
Yeah, you can watch a G20.
Don't watch G20. That's a bad idea.
I've completely forgotten about that.
Man, this film, I know we've been critical on this episode, but this film is way better than any action you can find on Netflix. Like most of the action on Netflix.
Honestly, it is. Like,
so it's all relative, isn't it?
yeah, it is. Like this film as a fun action piece, and you've got some really fun characters to watch. I'd definitely go watch this, and I think you can watch this pretty easily in the States if you've got Prime. I think it's on Amazon Prime. In Australia, you got to do your typical VPN region swap thing or whatever. So thank you to, I guess,
that's what we did, right?
USA. Yeah, sure. That's what we did to watch the Baby Assassins movie as well. Yeah.
But do you have anything more to say? Oh, I will say one more thing on the ghost aspect of this film. I do like how they got a little bit creative in the use of Kudo in ghost form, like how he can kind of scout ahead for her.
That's cool. Yeah,
it's a good idea. I feel like they could have played on the whole ghost mechanic a bit more, but maybe in Ghost Killer 2, we'll see.
I think I think I would watch a Ghost Killer 2 because I would like to see these characters get a bit more in depth, because I definitely think that there's something there. I like watching Akari Takaishi. I think she's cool. So I definitely am looking forward to seeing a lot of action, and I really have to commend how far she's come in terms of her action choreography stunt work. Just coming from someone who has no experience in, I'm talking, I guess, prior Baby Assassins, to just being like all for it, doing her own stunts. I think that's really cool. Especially it just adds that extra level of, I guess, skill from her as a performer, to just like go dive into it. I think that's very respectful.
You get addicted to it, Thavy. You get addicted to the endorphins, probably. Until
you turn 30, and then you
can't do it no more. You will die if you try to do this in your 30s.
after we wrapped shooting after 4 days, it took me like 2 days to recover after like these 10-hour days. I was getting like really bad. Do you know those times when you are so overexhausted that you have like allergies play up, like your nose is just running. You're not sick, but
it's just your body shutting down.
My body is just shutting down. It was just a leaky tap. But I managed. The biggest cure was like I went drinking with Sunman and Boone like on the second day, and I just had a few drinks, and it like all that just went away. It just went away. I just like,
there you go,
I literally just had to relax. I think that was the cure. I was just like, man, I was so tired.
You heard it here first. Alcohol is the cure to all your ailments.
I mean, I don't want to endorse drinking, but in terms of building my interpersonal skills, alcohol plays a big part in that. But This is not about alcohol. It's about Ghost Killer. Final words. Fun movie. Go watch it. It's cool. It's readily available for the most part. Check it out. It's cool. Yeah.
Yep. A lot of fun. All right. But guys, what did you think about Ghost Killer if you've seen it? Did you enjoy it, or did you think it was not a patch on the Baby Assassins franchise? Let us know. You can get in touch with us at twoasianblokes@gmail.com. You can join our Facebook group to be part of the conversation, or you can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Two Asian Blokes to see what we're up to. If you haven't already, check out the teaser for Don't Fret Precious, and stay tuned for more news on Thavy's project.
Yes. Keep an eye out for that. We're going to be spamming it a lot. You'll be sick of it. And then you won't want to see it anymore.
You'll be sick of hearing about it even before the film has come out. That's our marketing tactic.
Yep.
Will it work? Probably not.
Probably not. But we'll try. But until then, guys, we'll catch you until the next one.
Bye-bye.